Devdutt Padikal's landmark strokeful 100, Virat Kohli's 70 odd, getting to 6,000 runs meant AB de Villiers and Glenn Maxwell didn't even need to put their pads on as RCB chased down 177 versus Rajasthan in matchday 16. We'll talk about that. Then we'll come to Punjab versus Mumbai as well, which is today's game. But first, we have to talk about RCB, top of the table, 4 wins on the trot. The best start to an IPL campaign that they could imagine. They've done an absolutely amazing job, and you have to thank Devdutt Padikal and Virat Kohli for that. What an absolute masterclass of batting. They looked absolutely amazing, both of them. The key part of this was that there was all proper cricketing stroke play that was on display. There was no hoiking, no slogging. These were very good, genuine cricket shots. Calculated risks taken both by Padikal and Virat Kohli. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at the story of the game. Of course, Virat Kohli won the toss, was a little confused at the toss whether he's won it or not. Ultimately realized that he's won it and then elected to bowl first in Mumbai. Remember, this was their venue change. Of course, they moved venues and they looked absolutely amazing. The match was obviously being played at the Wankhede, so conditions were suiting them. As we predicted, RCB more dangerous in this venue, and they didn't waste any time before proving that to us. Elected to bowl first, of course. One change with Kane Richardson coming into the team for Rajat Patidar, and Shreyas Gopal being drafted in by the Rajasthan Royals, who needed to win this game to get some momentum in conditions that were suiting them. But that was not the case. Anyway, let's get to the game. Of course, Buttler and Vohra came into bat. Buttler fails again. Succumbs again, and that really didn't help. Manan Vohra followed suit as well, and then there was a flurry of wickets, and there were a couple of runs for 4 wickets down, 33 odd for 4, and that's where you lose games right away. You cannot be 30-40 odd for 4 wickets down and expect to make a big comeback unless there's a heroic performance, which never came. There was a partnership between Riyan Parag and Shivam Dube. They got them to 109 for 4 until Parag fell again. Good start, gave it up again. The same story. Again, Shivam Dube falls as well. Rahul Tewatia comes in, scores 40 odd, some hits by Morris, but then they tried and crawled to 177. And versus this RCB team, it was never going to be enough. But outwalked Padikal and Virat Kohli, and then the whole story changed. Of course, Virat early on hit a few boundaries, took the attack to Shreyas Gopal straight away. The reason Gopal was brought into this game was because of the matchup versus Virat. He's gotten Virat and AB out a couple of times, but Virat took him out of the picture right away. Hit him for a couple of boundaries, and then it began, the Devdutt Padikal show. Virat Kohli literally sat back and let Padikal take the onus on, because every time a new bowler was introduced, Padikal attacked him. He attacked Mustafizur, he attacked Shreyas Gopal, hit them for a couple of boundaries. He attacked Sakaria as well, hit a beautiful 6 over mid-wicket. One of the shots of the game, one of the shots of the tournament so far. So much like Yuvraj Singh, isn't it? That elbow, the high back lift. He's absolutely amazing, is Devdutt Padikal. Everybody was talking about AB and Maxwell's form heading into this game, and they realized that Padikal has to come back into form, and he answered his critics and answered them how. The same goes for Virat Kohli as well. I think he played second fiddle for a long time, but later really took it on himself to get a few runs for himself as well. Did that beautiful baby celebration, dedicating his 50 to his newborn daughter, and really enjoyed their time out there, both Virat and Devdutt Padikal. Nobody in the dressing room needed to move an inch. Not a single moment did RCB look like they were in doubt of their ability. It was as simple as that. They went out there with purpose, executed their stroke play to absolute ease, and chased down 177 without breaking a sweat. Simple as that. They had a field day. It was a day where they were meant to go out and enjoy themselves, and they did just that. Rajasthan will be worried. They really will be worried. They have to think about their batting. They have to think about how they go about their top order. But those questions were already there. Those questions were already there from the previous game. They had to figure out how they bring about consistency about their top order. But now they have to figure out how do they go about their bowling as well, because I mean it's unacceptable from a bowling side, from a bowling unit's perspective, from a bowling unit's side, to not pick up a single wicket, to go wicketless throughout the game, lose the game by 10 wickets. That's a big margin of victory. RCB now have a big positive in the net run rate side of things as well, winning it by 10 wickets, of course, winning it by a few overs to spare as well. big NRR plus for RCB. RCB fans will be very, very happy, and they've got good reason to be happy. Now they've got 4 batters in great form in the form of Padikkal, Virat, Maxwell, and AB. And I think that is a top 4 that is just far superior. Really, really is. Only Mumbai Indians come close to that top 4 at this point of time. They're absolutely amazing. I think a fabulous game from RCB's perspective on Thursday. Now let us move to the game on Friday. It's Punjab versus Mumbai in Chennai. Remember, this is Mumbai's last game before they change venues. They go to Delhi next in a ground that they don't really have a very good record at. So it becomes very important for them to sort of get that extra win. So 4 games played in Chennai so far, and they've sort of lost a couple already. So they do not want to lose another one before they change venues. They want to get this win, and they will go all guns blazing. You'd like to expect that Mumbai Indians will come out with everything they've got versus a team like Punjab that is already struggling. And Mumbai will have the psychological advantage, because the moment Mumbai step out on the field with intention to destroy the opposition, they are a different team altogether. There have been questions about Mumbai's hunger. They've had success lately. Do they have the hunger to replicate that? Do they have the hunger to go out there and get another IPL win under their belt, like teams that have been deprived of an IPL win? Is a question that's been around. But Mumbai will have to answer that with the ball and the bat when they step out versus Punjab. I don't see a lot of changes for Mumbai. None at all, to be very honest. Maybe one change. I don't see that either, to be very honest with you. Like, I'm just trying to come up with a change, but I don't think there will be any changes. Jayant Yadav did well with the ball did well with the bat, looked good with the ball as well. So I don't see that changing unless they think maybe they want a specific matchup to be executed versus Punjab. Otherwise, I don't see a big change for Mumbai. I think Quinton de Kock has to fire. He has to fire. He has to come. Mumbai cannot lose wickets at the top. And I think they also need the middle order to click. Pollard did get a valuable 30 in one of these games, but it's not enough. Hardik has to fire. Krunal has to fire. Ishan Kishan has to fire. The middle order really has to get going for Mumbai. The key hallmark for Mumbai last time around as well in IPL 2020 was that the starts that the top order had sort of gotten for themselves, the middle order really accelerated and took it to another level. They averaged way higher than the opposition teams in terms of getting runs in the last 5 overs. So I think Mumbai really have to try and go back to their old patterns and understand how do they want to attack the last 7-8 overs and just get to that right away. And today is a good opportunity to sort of do that, because Punjab have been making a few changes in their bowling lineup. Last game as well, they got in Moses Rodriguez and Chris Jordan. A couple of changes in that, in of course the overseas quota, but also in the fast bowling contingent. So they are not a team that is settled with their bowling. Murugan Ashwin as well. I mean, he is a good bowler, but he's not really looked like somebody who can take the attack to the opposition with his spin, because on this surface you need some good spin bowlers. You saw Rashid Khan dominating versus them in the last game and how he destroyed them. And they could only come up to about 120 on the total loss out to Hyderabad in the previous game. So I think Punjab will be concerned about the spin bowling contingent, and that is an area that they have to solve. That is an area that they have to go down to immediately. Ravi Bishnoi is on the bench. Maybe get him in. That could be a change that they could make. But apart from that, I don't see a lot of changes. I don't think they should make a lot of changes, because the moment you make many changes at the beginning of the tournament, that sets a bad precedence for your players. You do not want them to be scrambling. You do not want them to be insecure about their position. You want players to be secure and know that they will be given opportunities. So stick to your core team, Punjab. Go out there and execute your plans. I think the form of KL Rahul will be very, very important. They would want him to get back into the runs. Looked good in the first game. After that, not so much. Chris Gayle, Nicholas Puran's not having. He's having a poor run. He isn't it. There are a lot of jokes about that, but nothing pretty about a batsman's caliber that Nicholas Puran has, who goes on a barren run. You want Puran to come back, get back into the runs if you're Punjab, and also if you're a neutral fan. I mean, if you want that batting nexus to click, Nicholas Puran is an important cog in that whole space. So Puran has to fire. It's very, very important for Punjab, and I think some great matchups in this game. I'm interesting to see. I'm eager to see KL Rahul versus Bumrah, of course, the natural matchup. I mean, I'm very eager to see Shami versus Quinton de Kock as well at the top. Shami versus Rohit. Couple of very, very good matchups in the middle overs as well. It'll be interesting to see how Hardik goes about, say, someone like Chris Jordan. That would be a good matchup as well. So all in all, there's a lot happening in this game. Both these teams will be desperate to get back into winning ways. Punjab more so than Mumbai, but Mumbai will be more determined. They would want to make the most of their last outing in Chennai before they move to Delhi. And well, here at cricketnews.com, we are also going to make the most out of IPL 2021. We want to bring you value. So follow us on our social media accounts. Follow us on www.cricketnews.com. Like, subscribe, and share. The button is down below. Please press on that button. And stay tuned to all things cricketnews.com. My name is Sumit Bilgi. This is our IPL 2021.